So you are being a constitutional lawyer, I'm
yes,
sure.
I am.
What needs to happen for ZANU-PF's agenda to carry on, if they indeed are trying to get a third term? What needs to happen?
So the legal processes are these. Firstly, a constitutional bill has to be gazetted.
Okay.
That constitutional bill must lie in state for 90 days.
Okay.
With other bills, it's just 14 days before you have a first reading in Parliament. When that bill has been gazetted for 90 days, after 90 days, it can then be tabled in Parliament for its first reading.
Okay.
When it's tabled in Parliament for its first reading,
can I just ask, why 90 days and not 14?
That's the Constitution. Because it's such an important bill. The Constitution is so important.
Right.
So I'm meaning the Constitution can be equated to normal legislation.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why the Constitution specifically says
90 days.
It's part of protecting the Constitution.
Right.
And the idea behind the 90 days is that so that everyone in the country knows what is happening. So there's a mandatory gazetting for 90 days period. After that, it must be tabled in Parliament. After that, the Constitution demands that any law, there must be public consultation, Section 143 of the Constitution. So this bill has to be taken to the countryside for consultation. And of course, as we have seen in any bills where there's public interest, for instance, the death penalty, people will flock. Mm-hmm. And on this one, I can assure you that people are going to flock.
So public consultation does not necessarily mean referendum.
It's a different stage. I'm coming to that. Right. I'm coming to the referendum. Then, when these consultations have taken place, the relevant committee, perhaps they will form a special committee, or they will use the Justice and Legal Parliamentary Portfolio Committee, who will then report to Parliament. When it reports to Parliament through its chairperson, what is called the second reading debate starts. When the second reading debate starts, the bill will then be referred to committee. The committee is the actual drafting. If it passes, it goes for a second reading. So the MPs will say yes, it then goes for a third reading. At the third reading now, 2/3 of members of the National Assembly must approve.
Okay.
So this whole agenda of buying out members of Parliament, of creating characters like Chabangu, is intended now to secure the 2/3 majority that is required. So that's in the National Assembly. It then goes to the Senate, where a similar process starts: first reading, second reading, and then 2/3. 2/3 of the membership of the Senate must vote. Once the bill has been approved by 2/3 of Parliament, that is to say 2/3 in the National Assembly and 2/3 in the Senate, it must then go to a referendum. Because it is a bill altering term limits in the country. The referendum is a simple process, Baba. The referendum simply asks whether you are saying yes or no. Because we are going to campaign and live in the mountains to get that no vote. There's a second problem. Mm-hmm. The Constitution then says, when you change this Constitution and you remove the term limits, it doesn't benefit the incumbent.
Mm-hmm. It benefits the next.
It benefits the next. But you can change that provision.
Same process.
Yeah, we call it the Abdoulaye Wade provision. Because President Abdoulaye Wade amended the Constitution for a third time, and Senegalese said, it can't benefit you. And he lost at that stage. And that's why President Sall came in. And as fat as 𝐠ZZ, as you know, President Macky Sall also tried to change the constitution to benefit him. Yet he came through a process of rejecting a third-term agenda. Right. That's why you can't trust people. But anyway, to come back to the legal process, another referendum is required now to change the constitutional provision that says you can't benefit. That's when we will see Trababala's true colors, because all along he'll be saying, I don't want Vandova Akuda. Now when he says, now the Akuda, the constitution has to go to a referendum for the second time. Baba, pakaipa. Tusangana makomu. Tusangana kwa Chendabwe. Tusangana ku Lotito. Tusangana ku 𝐠𝐨𝐧𝐬𝐬𝐿. Tusangana ku Binga. Tusangana ku 𝐻𝐿ochu. He can't win those referendums. He cannot win those referendums.
Okay.
So to put it very crudely, the idea of a third-term agenda is fraught with such legal landmines that you would have to be so ambitious, so insane, so drunk, or both to ever think that it can actually carry out and see the light of the day.
These are a lot of shots.